Okay. As you could tell, I don't know if you can really tell, but it has been a day. Well, I think I'm going to open up everything like that. You know, I don't know if I'm going to be able to hold back the tears because I've just been crying all day. All day. Chris thinks that I was in denial. In denial about having cancer. I mean, even though they were telling me it was cancer, you know, it's not definite without the biopsy. And I was still holding out hope that it would just be like some kind of benign tumor or something. And so I waited and I waited and I waited and I waited and I waited all day. And then like 2 o'clock sometime, the phone rang. And she was like, "Hey, Jenny, we got the results in." And I was like, "Okay." And she's like, "They're positive." And I was like, "They're positive? What does that mean?" I said, "Do you know, what kind of cancer it is?" And she put me on hold for a little bit, and then she came back on, and she said, see, it's like I don't even really know. I have to remember what it's called. Okay, she said it's invasive ductal carcinoma. And the invasive part, like if it was ductal carcinoma and it wasn't in my lymph nodes, I would be just like the very, very beginning stages of the cancer. But because it's invasive, that means that the biopsy that she did underneath my arm, that I can't even think. That's moved out of the breast, and it's in my lymph nodes. There you go. And so that means that the 2 lymph nodes that she saw, that she was suspicious of, was actually that those 2 have cancer in them. So I have just been an array. Like, I think most of the day, the reason why I've been crying is because I was scared that she would call and tell me that it is cancer. Because who the fuck wants cancer? I don't want cancer. And, yeah, it's like, you know, they say denial and fear and acceptance and blah, blah, blah. Those are like all the stages of grief. And yeah, they are. And so, and then when she called me, she said, we're going to have to cancel your consult appointment because the doctor in San Antonio is outside of your insurance network. And I was like, okay. And she said, well, I'm going to call MD Anderson. And so she called me back a few minutes later and said that wasn't in my network either. And that just is so beyond me, because why wouldn't MD Anderson take this insurance? This is a place that my mom went to, and it's like, what kind of hospital do I go to? And she called me a few minutes later and she said, well, Scott and White has a hospital. And I was like, well, yeah, but I've never been to that hospital. I don't know anybody that's been to that hospital. And, would they be able to do reconstruction and all that stuff? And I freaked out. Because the one hospital that I really wanted to go to is not available to me. And I would sign up for Medicaid, and I will sign up for Medicaid. I'll try and get approved. But that takes months. And I don't want to wait months to get into MD Anderson. I want to get this shit out of my body now. So I just told her, she's like, well, do you want me to set up an appointment for a consult at Scott and White? And I said, yes, go ahead and get one set up. And that way we have something if the Medicaid doesn't come through. And if the Medicaid comes through, we'll just go to MD Anderson. But, you know, I feel a little bit better having looked at the website that they do the type of reconstruction that I want. And they do the genetic testing, and it might actually be cheaper because it's through my insurance company. Anyway, but I think I'm definitely in accepting mode, and I'm kind of on the verge of like a mental breakdown, and I feel bad, but you know, it's okay. It's okay that I'm sad. Because I have a 6-year-old and I have a 2-year-old and I have a husband who's only 28. And to me, it's like, screw that it's not fair to me, but it's not fair to them. And I've been struggling with a lot of guilt because I'm sick, and I know I have nothing to feel guilty about, but this is not something that I feel like my family should have to go through. But I know in the end we'll all be okay. We'll be okay. It's just really scary. And you know what? If you ever get diagnosed with cancer, I'm giving you permission to cry and be angry and be sad and feel defeated, because it sucks. I feel like I'm mourning this body that I've had for 31 years, because even though I hate my boobs, I didn't want to lose them to cancer. I wanted to win the lottery and get the genetic testing done and then get all of my boobs cut off, and I wanted the surgeries, and I wanted these surgeries, but I didn't want the chemo afterwards, and I don't know, just to say cancer, it sucks. But all of you have been absolutely supportive and amazing, and you know, I keep saying it. I think that's the reason why I haven't been crying the last few days. It's because of all of you, but it's like just really overwhelming today. And I'm sure that it'll get better once I actually start to accept and I calm the fuck down. But I'm giving myself permission today to be upset, at least for now. Chris took Devin to go get something to eat. And so when they get back, I'm going to try and find a movie for us to watch, and because we don't have Kaden yet. And just be a family, I guess. But I seriously am so grateful for each and every one of you. Whether you gave money, or you shared my fundraising page, or you shared my video, I had no idea so many people cared about me. And that alone is really overwhelming, but in a good way. And so I thank you all from the bottom of my heart for making the last 2 days and the next year like absolutely amazing. Just for the support wise and stuff, because I'm sure gonna need it, and I'm sure I'm not gonna feel a whole lot like, you know, thank you guys, I love you so much, when I'm healing from my surgeries. But anyway, I'm rambling again, and I've thought about my mantra, something to get me through this, and really I think I'm gonna stick with the oldie, because when I was going through my depression and things were getting really bleak and everything, and well, actually when I was starting to come out of my depression, and I still had those moments where I wanted to die, I would just tell myself, this too shall pass. And when I got really overwhelmed, it's like I could hear, or I could feel something just saying, this too shall pass. It's not going to be like this forever. And that's the truth. It sucks right now. In this moment, I'm heartbroken. And in this moment, I'm scared. And in this moment, I feel absolutely defeated. But this feeling that I'm having will pass. And I'll fight. And I'll be a fighter. For my family and for myself and for my friends and for my family. And all my Fido people, I consider y'all family. Because if it weren't for you guys, I wouldn't have lost this weight, and then I'd have ginormous boobs, and then who would have known when I would have felt this? So thank you to every one of you who propped me and encouraged me and gave me ideas and praised me, because without that, I wouldn't be healthy. But I just can't forget to breathe. Because there were a few moments there where I thought I was going to pass out because I wasn't breathing. But feel your breasts, feel your wife's breasts, feel your balls, you know. Just take care of yourselves and never take anything for granted. Bye, guys.